There's so many mistakes I see that buyers make in a seller's market, and today I want to talk with you about that. The real estate market shifts from time to time, and if you're a buyer in a seller's market, you can get what you want, but you really need to have your A game ready to go, and you need to be decisive. So today I'm going to share with you the way to avoid 6 common mistakes that I see. The first common mistake I see is not making your best offer. So as a buyer, of course you want a good deal. Of course you want to get the home you want for the best price. But if it's a seller's market, which is what we've been in the last several months, actually the last couple of years, you've really got to step up and make your best offer, particularly if you're in that home price that everybody else is looking for, that under $350,000 home price. Everybody's looking for that, and if your bid is going to be competitive, you need to step up and make your best offer. The second common mistake I see among buyers in a seller's market is really over-analyzing the price. I was talking with a buyer the other day, and granted, you want to look at the comps so you don't overpay for a home, but in this market, it's a bit unique, especially in that competitive price point, because people are going to pay whatever it takes to get that home. And you can really get into the nitty-gritty analyzing the price, but at the end of the day, it's what is the seller willing to sell for and what is the buyer willing to pay. The third mistake that I want to help you avoid is working with an inexperienced realtor. It's a tough market, and you need someone who can really negotiate on your behalf and who knows how to keep that offer clean so that when the seller receives your offer, they go, aha, this is a serious buyer. And only an experienced agent really knows the tricks and the tools to use in helping you get your best deal for the home that you want. The fourth mistake that is actually very easy to avoid is to get pre-qualified for a mortgage up front, unless you're a cash buyer. So what that means is you need to talk to a lender, and it can be a lender of your choice. It may be a bank, it may be a mortgage broker. I would ask your realtor, who do they work with the most? Who do their clients like, and who takes good care of their clients? But you need to get pre-qualified up front, because think about it. If you don't, and you go out looking at houses, say that are $350,000, when in fact you're qualified for $300,000, then when you step back to homes that are $300,000, they're just not as fancy as the $350,000, and it gets your hopes up and it builds false hope. So get your ducks in an order, get pre-qualified on the front end before you go out looking for a home. And when you make that offer, when you find that perfect home, you're going to need that pre-qualification letter to submit with your offer for your bid to be considered. The fifth mistake I see among buyers is just simply not being prepared for a bidding war. And a bidding war happens when you're going after that hot house that everyone else wants as well. Just yesterday, I was working with a buyer and there were 10 offers on the table. 10. That's a lot of offers. No buyer wants to get into a bidding war because it's kind of a no-win situation. So one thought to help avoid that, if you're in that hot price point that everyone else wants, is to look at homes that are below what you can actually afford. So then you have the capacity, should that be the house that you and your family just have your heart set on, then you have the capacity to go over the asking price if need be. So then you stand a chance of winning that bidding war. The sixth and last mistake that I see from buyers in a seller's market is simply not learning from their mistakes. So hear me out. If you're a first-time buyer, you've never done this before, you're not going to know all these things. So even though a good realtor is going to tell you what to do each step of the way and hold your hand and lead you through that process, sometimes it's hard to hear because after all, how hard can it be? You're just trying to buy a house, right? So for example, if you make an offer on a home and your offer is declined and you get beat out from someone else, stop and have a conversation with your agent. What happened? Why did their bid win out over you? So don't go through that process 2 or 3 times before you learn from your mistakes. So as a buyer, if you can keep in mind these 6 mistakes and avoid these, I think you'll be golden. You'll have great success in finding that dream home for your family.